Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for coming to my group, Assertiveness. What's assertiveness? The ability to get our needs met in an honest and respectful way. What does that mean? Why are you guys here? Well, I'll tell you why I'm here. A short story. I am the one that did not have a voice. I always wanted to know what it felt like to say what you really felt and to you understand what I'm saying? Yes. Would you like to explain? Do you have an assertive story? What a great story you have. Yes. And how did that make you feel when you realized that, wow, I got my needs met? It didn't look pretty. It's not what I usually do, but it gives you a sense of power, doesn't it? And that's why facilitating this group, doing this group, is so important to me. I do it and I stand here, but truly, believe me, I learn just as much as you do, as as um, as anyone does. I'm going to sit my book down so I can talk to you guys better. Yes, I did not have a voice. I found myself in situations. I have a story called The Leg Story, where my leg was hurting so bad because someone's leg was near mine, and I did not have a voice. I wasn't assertive enough to say, could you remove your leg? My leg is starting to hurt. So after a while, my leg is getting numb. I don't feel my toes. Did I have a voice to say, please, could you remove my leg? Well, thank goodness this person's phone rang, and they had to walk across the room to answer their phone. Otherwise, I'd probably be limping it here. That's how serious it was for me. When did it start? I think when I was young. What about you? Do you remember? Think back to your assertive. The first time you realized that you were not assertive. And then also think about the time that you said, but I want to be. Because that's the beginning of our journey. That is where we really, really start to say, I want something. It always starts with a thought. Wherever we go, it starts with a thought. So if you had the thought of, I want to be, then what did you do? Did you practice it? Did you go about ways of saying little baby steps? Because it's all little baby steps. Let's talk about assertiveness. What do we need to be assertive? Confidence? You said confidence? Most definitely. Yeah, because I can't be like this and be assertive, right? What else? Anyone else know what else you would need to be assertive? Self-esteem. Most definitely. Yes. We stand up when we're assertive, right? We look direct. We do eye contact. We let them know. Anyone else want to tell what they think about assertiveness? What do you think about assertiveness? Oh, now, you know what? That is very important, what she just said. Did everyone hear what they just said? They just said that I have to have value in myself. I have to value myself. And that is one of the reasons why we find that being assertive is so hard, because we don't think we're worth it. Another thing that assertive does is we're always focused on the other person. Have you noticed that? Well, if I say this, they're going to say that. We'll write the whole story, right? We'll go through and we'll write the whole story, and we don't even know, because inside is insecure. It does not feel like it's worthy enough to be secure, to be assertive, right? So yeah, what we say inside really matters. Does anyone, now that we've dwelled a little bit more, does anyone else have an assertive story that they've been through recently? Wonderful. Yes. And why is that one so important? Why? It's two reasons why that is so important. First of all, there had to be an instance where they didn't stand up for themselves. And now that they did, they have something to compare with, right? So that's what assertiveness does. It makes us change. It gives us a measure of, wow, I used to be here and now I'm there. And that's just growth. That's what we all want. And then the second thing I find that, well, let me ask you this. Name some people. She just named one. Name some people that you find it hard being assertive with. She said, doctors. You know, doctors know everything. Who am I to tell a doctor who wants to prescribe something to me that I don't feel right when I take it. I don't want to take it. I'm just not. Do I say, okay, I'll take it? Do I be assertive and say, Dr. Smith, I don't want to take that pill. That pill makes me feel loopy. I don't want to feel loopy right now. I have things, is there something else? That's being assertive, right? Who else? Name some people. Parent. Oh, my goodness. Well, see, I'm 67, so I'm from that age where you didn't speak up that much anyway. I have a granddaughter who needs a dose of old school, but I don't want to squish her spirit, but it needs to be directed in a way. And there were some things we just did not say. What was the saying? Do as I say, not as I do. You weren't allowed to be expressive, so that meant physically and out of your mouth, right? So, well, our thoughts didn't matter. Anyone else that you feel that it's hard to be assertive with? Sure, police, authority, anybody that has an authority, a power. I also work with homeless. I also work with those in the reentry program, those who were incarcerated and have come home. And the most scariest thing is to go report to the PO, right? Yes, exactly. Why? Because this PO has power. They have your life, and they have the ability to say, I don't believe you. Back to jail. So it's hard to be assertive with someone that has that much power over you. It's definitely a communication thing. You understand? So what else does assertiveness do? Assertiveness makes us easier to get along with. Those understand. It's respectful. I find that being assertive, if done correctly. Now, please remember there's a very big difference between assertive and aggressive. They're two distinct words. If I find myself, I'm being aggressive. If I find myself not thinking of how I'm sounding, and I don't want to, none of us really want to hurt anyone's feelings, right? Some people ask me, can you think of an instance where being assertive really helps? Being aggressive really helps. Of course we can. There's time and places for everything. If I see my granddaughter getting ready to reach for something hot, I'm not going to say, don't touch that, dear. I'm going to be aggressive and say, don't touch that. But afterwards, I'm going to be assertive and say, Grandma told you not to touch that, and this is why. And I'm going to be honest and respectful so she can understand that. There's so many people that we run into in the course of a day that we may lose a fail. I do this group, another group, right? And we always start, who's been assertive? Who has an assertive story for me? And sometimes it's not always a win. Sometimes it's a fail. I failed at being assertive. That's okay. That's fine. That's fine. Because we can't always do it right. Different circumstances, different voices, right? I've appreciated you guys so much. Now, next week, we're going to do mock interviews about how I was assertive and how I wasn't assertive, okay? I look forward to seeing you next week. Have a wonderful day. Thank you.